All right, y'all. So I was talking to a fellow subscriber on Instagram, and he said maybe your next video you should talk a little bit about wood. So I'm still learning about wood and what to look for and things like that. But I'll give you the little advice or the little knowledge that I do know. A couple times, I would say at least 2 times, I went to a wood yard because I'm like, okay, I need to start going there and get bulks. And I was given green wood. Now, if you don't know what green wood is, it's basically fresh wood. So it's not ready to burn yet. Whenever they cut the trees, usually they'll, I guess, put them in like logs, like cut them into logs, and then they'll let them sit on a pallet or something like that for 6 months to a year or so. Or what they might do is they'll sell the fresh wood and be like, hey, look, it's fresh wood, and sell it at the same price they would as, you know, seasoned wood, or if not, cheaper. I don't know. Depends on the place. The difference between fresh wood and seasoned wood is the water content in it. So burning wood to cook with is usually going to have between 15 to 20% water in it, and fresh wood is going to have more, of course. There's 2 ways or maybe more ways you can figure out if it's cookable or not. The best way is, or usable or not, the best way is to get a water meter. I have one, but I'll put a picture of how it looks right there. And basically what you would do is, I wouldn't put it on the sides, I would put it in the middle of the log, and it'll read how much water it has in there. And so, like I said, what you're looking for is like 15 to 20% water. Anything over is gonna be too much, and you'll start, whenever you're trying to light these things on fire, it's gonna be impossible, or it's gonna be like sizzling, and you'll know there's a lot of water in there. Another thing to look for, and I'm not sure about this, but whenever I got that wood that was like fresh, it had like some type of line right here. It was like green or whatever. And I noticed the wood that's more seasoned is like a darker, oldish looking. And this is seasoned wood right here. It got rained on a couple times, but this is good wood. This is post oak that we got from this guy in League City that we always go to now. Okay, so I don't have any fresh wood with me, so I can't compare it. But another difference is the log is gonna be a lot more heavier. So let's say this is a seasoned wood, right? If I got the same size piece of wood, compared a seasoned one compared to a fresh one, the fresh one is gonna be heavier because it has more water content in it. The only way for you to figure that out is basically by experience, by either holding on to finding seasoned wood and knowing the difference of how heavy it feels and comparing it to like fresh wood. So I had a lot of fresh wood to compare it to, so that's how I learned. And now I go to the wood yards. When I go, I'll go with my meter, you know, because I'm still not a pro. And I remember one time going, and I'll put it in the middle. I'm like, oh, this has like 25%, 30% water. And then the guy got it, and he goes, oh no, he goes right here. And I'm like, and it went down to like 15%. But he did that because you're not gonna get, it's not gonna read as much water from the side, y'all. So always get the middle. I think Jeremy Yoder had a video talking about that. So that's what helped me a lot. So yeah, and you know, you got different woods you're gonna cook with. You got your oaks, your hickory, you got mesquite, you got pecan, and then you got your fruit woods. So the fruit woods are gonna be like cherry. The common ones you'll see is cherry, maybe apple, peach, and things like that. Those are gonna be a light smoke, so it's not gonna be as heavy on your food whenever you eat it. It's not gonna taste real smoky, but it's real good to use with like fish, chicken, even some pork and stuff like that. If you don't want to go too heavy on smoke, you want to be just kind of careful. Fruit woods, you can't go wrong with that. Another thing is it's gonna go from fruit woods, and then you're gonna get like your oaks, and I feel like the oaks is like step after your fruits. That's gonna be more a little bit heavier, but not as heavy as like the pecan, hickory, or the mesquite. Okay, and basically what you got to do is use the ones that are available close to where you live or located. You might have access to a lot, but basically by experience, you'll know what you like. You'll know what is your wood. I like to use oak. Sometimes I might use mesquite for like salsas and stuff like that. But every wood has a use to it. I don't believe that there's one that's the best. I just believe that it just depends on what you're doing. And so yeah. But anyways, I just got done cutting some wood, and to the size that I like, preferably to my smoker. And that's another thing. Depending on the size of your smoker, you might want to be mindful of the size of wood that you use. You're not gonna want to use a big medium piece like this in the old country brazos, something on that size, because what happen is it'll just get too hot in there, and then your heat will fluctuate real high then real low again. So you probably want to get something smaller. And on my smoker, this size is pretty good, and I'll stick to this size. But if you're using it even like those 500 gallons or 250 gallons propane tank ones, you might use a bigger size. And so that's always going to vary. And that's one thing when I first started smoking, is I was using the splits. I was using the ones that were a little bit too big for my smoker, and I was having issues with the heat going up and down. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to kind of talk about, y'all. I hope y'all have a good one. I'm gonna make some ribs, and I'll probably record that in the mornings for my wife's school. They're having a potluck or whatever you call it. And so she wanted me to make some ribs. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then I'm gonna make some briskets also for a customer. So yeah, I hope everyone's good and have a Merry Christmas. But until next time, y'all. And I just wanted to say, because I know how people are, anytime I go outside, I have to have my dog on a leash right now, because I don't have a fence to block him out yet, which we're gonna get. But he's an inside dog, and when I go outside, I'll bring him outside. But look, just so y'all know. All right, so I don't want people to think I'm keeping them on the leash outside all day. That's not how we roll. Anyways, have a good one.